Pretty good. How are you?
So it's all you today, huh?
Yeah. We wore Tom out.
Did you have your gig with him?
I did. It was awesome. It was awesome.
Where was that at?
Well,
Here?
it was in a private home,
Oh, that's right, private home.
but it was a lot of his friends from UCOH. So it's a large crowd. So it was really fun.
Good.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. And yourself?
Good.
Busy, I see.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Test 1, 2. I'm at the Sheraton again on Wednesday. If anybody wants to
This
come out.
Wednesday? I think we're gonna drive down to the valley though this week
6 to 9.
to go check the house out. So we won't be here. Otherwise, I would be. But
Good, you? Good to see you.
Armstrong.
Yeah.
Good morning.
He's gonna wave.
Our
at-
service is about
Kathy
to
is gonna
start,
wave
so
at
if you'll please find your seats and finish your conversations. Thank you.
Good morning. It's a beautiful, beautiful fall morning. We're so glad that you're here. Welcome to Unity Spiritual Center, Georgetown. We come together this morning to, I've been thinking about this because I'm going to do something a little bit different today. I do plenty of talking, so I think you've heard enough of my talking. I have a video I wanted to share with you. I'm going to share it later. With all the things going on in the world, and they've always have been, but especially, again, our attention has been drawn to all this stuff going on that shows our human side, basically. But we have a divine side as well. And so this morning, we're going to get a chance to see a video that shows what our divine side can do and the difference it can make. And I was telling Kathy that because we come together, I say it every Sunday, we come together for the sake of creating this energy field here together. And we do it because we affirm together and we pray together and we laugh together and we learn together and we do all these things together. And we all have energy. We're little energy balls. That's what we are. We're little balls of energy. It's concretized, if you will. It comes together as this physical body, but we're not the physical body. We are this ball of energy. And those of you that are familiar with heart math and all that, you know that we have this 9-foot or something aura around us So can you imagine? Picture all these 9-foot auras here, like this. And so what we try to do on Sunday morning is try to bring all that energy together into one big, gigantic energy field. And because we're transmitting, then we try to consciously make an effort of sending that energy field out into the world. And I was just talking to Kathy this morning that one of the times in the Let's Get Metaphysical videos, we talked about this guy who says that everything is connected. He's a scientist, so physically he was talking like we're all stardust and all this kind of stuff. And he was talking about that when in the beginning of the earth started to form, there was no atmosphere. So it really couldn't produce complex life. But it started with little pond scum. And pond scum, when they let out oxygen. And these little pond scum only lived like for a week, maybe, their whole entire lifespan. So it's easy to see that one of those pond scum, if they were thinking at that point, would say, what is my purpose? I live here for a week, I'm gone, and so what? But they could not possibly imagine that they were going to create an atmosphere that would create complex life on this planet. And the Dallas Cowboys, yeah. And the Houston Astros. They didn't know that. And without pond scum, there wouldn't be no Dallas Cowboys, you know. So, no, but the point is that I like to think that, sometimes we wonder, what are we doing here? What is our purpose? Why do we do this? Why do we come together on Sunday mornings? And it's because we're sending out something that perhaps we have no idea what is going to be in the future. But we're sending out this energy, this positive energy, so that we can add to that. And slowly, like pond scum, we'll change the planet. The planet will change. So congratulations, pond scum. So that's my talk for today, and y'all have a good day, all right? We'll see you later. No, just kidding. So welcome to Unity Spiritual Center, Georgetown. We are a positive path for spiritual living, and we offer spiritual teachings that provide practical tools for meaningful and abundant living. We envision, and I want you to take hold of that, we envision a spiritually transformed, peaceful world. It can be done. It can be done. We have no dogma, no creed, but we have 5 principles that guide our philosophy. And our foundational belief is in oneness. And that one belief sets us apart from everybody else. We're not separate from God. We're not separate from anything. And we know these things now, even scientifically. And our fundamental practice is being in the present moment, right here, right now, because that's all there ever is. So I want you to join me today in affirming our mission statement. We are a thriving spiritual community, inspiring and empowering individual and global transformation as exemplified by the life and teachings of Jesus. Once again, welcome to Unity Spiritual Center, Georgetown, a spiritual breath of fresh air. Our announcements. This is our board president, Alice Cooper.
Hey. Glad to be here. If you are here for the first time, we would like to extend a special welcome. If you're comfortable, please raise your hand or stand and tell us your name and where you're from. Anybody? Wow, it's just, there we go. Hey. Hello, what's your name? I'm sorry? Nikki? Nikki and Dennis. Where are you from? Oh, welcome. We're glad you're here. I wonder. Yeah, well, I could. Okay. We hope you feel welcome and choose to make Spiritual Center Georgetown your spiritual home. Next week is the 5th Sunday. Note the change of venue. We are expecting rain, so we've moved from the pavilion to the Hewlett Room at the library.
Downtown.
Right, it's right downtown. Right. Bring your mementos or photos of your ancestors. So we're going to be
We'll be
working it.
celebrating Dia de los Muertos, which is Day of the Dead, in a particular Mexican traditional sense. So, Kathy?
Yeah.
I want to welcome you all to my house, and if you can't make it for the whole thing, please just come for whatever portion that you can. And if
Great.
you, at the last minute, don't have anything to bring, don't worry, there's always plenty. So,
Thanks, Kathy. We appreciate you hosting this.
That would be this
Yes, the Dia de los Muertos potluck. Okay,
Saturday, 3 to 5.
right. Let's Get Metaphysical discussion group with Reverend Tommy meets on Wednesdays at 10 a.m. at Legacy Hills Park across the street.
We won't meet this week. I'll be out of town this week.
Okay, so scratch that. For this week. The book club meets on the fourth Tuesday of each month at the Larkin Owl at 10 a.m. The next meeting will be on October 24th, that's this Tuesday, and the book to be discussed is God on a Harley by Joan Brady. The Conference for Human Evolution screening, our future dates are the 4th and the 11th of November at the Mesquite Room next door from 1 to 4. Volunteers are needed. If you would like to volunteer and be part of our worker bee colony, please sign up. The categories are greeter, reader, setup, tech support, PowerPoint, angel team, Sunday school, and hospitality. So lots of opportunities. There's more information on each opportunity on the welcome. Please print your name, phone number, and email address legibly and put it in the offering, and have access to your profile where you can check your yearly donations, put up your picture so people can recognize you, add your in case of emergency contact, and has all the groups that participate here listed with their participants. It even has a calendar. So check it out. If you are having difficulty, email me at alicecoo@earthlink.net. And we have an update on our spiritual home fund from Yolanda.
Good morning. Okay, so we've come to a decision that Unity Spiritual Center of Georgetown, we're going to stay right here until, for now, until we can build up enough money to move on to the next step. We have a fund, as you know, and we are so grateful for all of you participating in, adding to the fund, and we're still going to do that. It's just that we need a lot more money. So we need to be a lot closer to a goal. So the board is working with, coming up with a number that we want to target for next year, and then, have fundraising events, to build up to that and generate some excitement around that, like where are we, how much did we collect so far, and that sort of thing. But in the meantime, what we're going to do for here is we want to make it more sustainable for us here with, more capacity. We've already figured out how to add more people. I think I've said that before. We can probably take about 100 if we squeeze some chairs, right? So we're good where we are right now. But the one thing we don't have is storage here, and that's a big issue because, as you know, it's quite an effort to put this together every Sunday morning, and we really want to fix that somehow, but yet still be able to stay here until we have enough money to move to the next place. So the board is, working on an arrangement with, someone who can come pick up the stuff from a storage unit, maybe. So that's where we are right now. And if you're interested in, or of a person who would be willing to pick up from this storage unit every Sunday at a given time and then return the items to the storage unit, if you know anybody looking for some extra money on the weekend, please contact myself or Alice or Reverend Tommy, and we can make it happen. Okay. That's all I got. Yes.
Since a lot of us have already donated toward that fund, can you give us an idea where it's at now?
Okay. I think it's at 21,000. Yeah, it's at 21,000. So yeah, we're doing pretty good. And we have a lot of fundraising events planned for the future. So yeah, we can get there. We just need to have more money. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Yolanda. For additional information and to sign up for these events, please visit our welcome table in the foyer, check out your weekly e-newsletter, or go to our website or email admin@unitygeorgetown.org. Thank you.
One final last-minute announcement. I was talking to Ann this week, and I know that, and I keep talking about how unique Unity is and how we see things, and sometimes questions come up like, how does that work exactly on some theological question, let's say. And so we thought that maybe one of these evenings coming up soon, she offered her house, we could get to have a little social and just break some bread or something, whatever. And if you have any questions about clarifying some of our views in Unity, you might write them down, and we'll have like a metaphysical discussion where you like, explain this to me, how this works and stuff. So it's just an idea to clarify some things that get tossed out there that maybe sound like a little strange or woo-woo or whatever. But anyway, as you know, we like to start with a little bit of humor, because humor is what cleanses us out so that we can renew our energy field. And Dan, we have a guest comedian today. Dan has wanted to be our guest comedian today, so there he is. Go, Dan.
I've got my Ed McMahon microphone over here. I'm going to tell the joke, and then we're going to sell some Alpo dog food. So, this Irishman, of course, was heading into the pub, and a nun jumps in front of him and says, "Stop. Do not enter this den of iniquity." And he's, "Oh yeah, I'm going in there." And she said, "Think of your poor mother and father." And he said, "Well, they've passed away, so." "Then think of your poor brain." "What about my brain?" She says, "Alcohol will damage your brain. You don't want to do that to your poor brain." He said, "Have you ever tried alcohol?" She says, "No." He said, "Then how can you say that? You've never tried it, and yet you're going to say these things to me about alcohol damaging my brain. I'm going to do something. I'm going to go into the pub, and I'm going to get you a drink. And you can try it, and then you tell me if it damages the brain." And she thought about it for a minute. She said, "Well, okay." He said, "So what would you like?" She said, "I don't know. What do ladies drink?" He said, "Gin." "Okay, bring me a gin. But put it in a cup so no one will know."
The daily word for today is grace. I walk in grace and peace today. I give thanks for the activity of God in my life that appears as grace. This divine gift manifests as the beauty of the world and the people in it, and as the comforting presence of God within and around me each day. I do not have to do anything to earn grace because it does not result from my attitude or actions. It flows from the infinite love of God within every person and surrounding every circumstance. It is the indwelling presence that sustains me in challenging times and lifts me in good times. I accept grace with gratitude when I have stumbled along life's path and received unexpected blessings. This boundless love fills my heart with bliss and peace. In the presence of infinite love, believing each unfolding event in my life is leading me to my highest good. From 2 Corinthians 12, verse 9, my grace is sufficient for you. Please read the affirmation with me twice. I walk in grace and peace today. I walk in grace and peace today. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm happy to be here today. I hope you are as well. I'm going to light the 3 candles that represent the 3 aspects of divine order. You can't hear me?
Has it gone out again?
And probably not.
No, it's there.
It's there. I'm not talking loud enough. There. Is that better? Good morning. I'm going to light the 3 candles of divine order, and they represent the aspects of mind, idea, and expression. This is mind, idea. Wow, I'm really loud in there. Expression. Divine mind is everything that ever was or everything that ever will be. It is limitless possibility. When we align ourselves with divine mind, we are supplied with creative ideas. We see things differently. These creative ideas are expressed through our actions and words, and in doing this, we become co-creators with God. Pretty awesome. Now, join me in saying the prayer of intention. Living Spirit opens our minds, opens our hearts, touches us all deeply with love, and sends us out as agents of love, agents of peace, agents of justice. Amen. I don't see any children today, so I guess we'll skip the children's church.
Hold my hand while I run this race. Hold my hand while I run this race. Hold my hand while I run this race, for I don't want to run this race in vain. Stand by me while I run this race. Stand by me while I run this race. Stand by me while I run this race, for I don't want to run this race in vain. Guide my feet while I run this race. Guide my feet while I run this race. Guide my feet while I run this race, for I don't want to run this race in vain.
Please join me in affirming together our statement of being and vision. There is only one presence and one power active in the universe and in my life, God, the good, omnipotence. Centered in God, we co-create a world of love, peace, and abundance.
I hear the music down in my soul. I hear the music down in my soul. I hear the music down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. I got a new day down in my soul. I got a new day down in my soul. I got a new day down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. I feel the silence down in my soul. I love the silence down in my soul. I love the silence down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. I feel the power down in my soul. I feel the power down in my soul. I feel the power down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. Oh, yes, it is. And the whole wide world is my home.
Let us become still and centered as we prepare to pray. Today, I want to focus our attention on any concerns you may have. Bring those concerns forward in your mind. Focus on your breathing and become centered and still. Breathe in peace. Breathe out anxiety. Breathe in peace. Breathe out tension. Breathe in peace. Breathe out worries. Let us be still and step into our sacred space, for it is here that we rest in love. Whenever we sense pain in ourselves or in the world around us, remember there is within you an essential core that cannot suffer. Let us place our awareness there, connecting to our inner power. This strength helps us to endure all circumstances. Let our faith comfort us. Let our hope prevail despite the problem. Let us feel grateful for the opportunities that life's challenges offer us and the beautiful light within us. As I release judgment and seek understanding, I am oneness. Now, within the sacred space, we pray. If you are holding a person or situation in your heart, let us bring them into our circle of love by speaking the name or condition either aloud or silently. And let us be quiet for a few moments. Amen. And now let us close our time of prayer by singing an ancient prayer, a prayer handed down through the ages that affirms God's realm manifest in earth as it is in heaven, the Lord's Prayer.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts and deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen.
Let us take a deep breath and release all thoughts and tensions we have accumulated so far today. For our spiritual practice, I want to talk about ingenuity and inventiveness. Do any famous names come to mind? How about the list is very long. They were the creative geniuses that influenced the future, along with Ponscombe, I suppose. Where does that creative inspiration come from? Think about divine order. The all-knowing mind of God bestows creative ideas to be expressed by humans. We use these ideas when we problem solve, fix things, do puzzles, and draw conclusions. Possibilities are endless. Think about ancient man and the wheel. Necessity breeds invention. How do we use our creative genius? Unexpected events occur, spurring us to think fast on our feet and enabling us to use our creative ideas. We possess the divine potential to access this creativity, but it does take some work and practice. Meditation is an invitation for God to speak within us and through us. It is not an attempt to reach God because our Christ's presence already exists. God is already here in our inner stillness, in our quietness and confidence. Now take a deep breath and become aware of the light that surrounds us. Let us breathe in peace. Breathe out stress. Let us breathe in faith. Breathe out all doubt. Let us breathe in hope. Breathe out all anxiety. Let us become silent and go within to our inner sanctuary, and there become aware of God's presence that permeates us. In this moment, focus on your Christ presence and become fully present in this space. I release all doubt and fear and bring the virtue of gratitude into this space. I know I am part of something larger than myself, as we are all one. I am thankful for the blessings in my life. Now, as we move into prayer, let us breathe in love and spend time in the beautiful quiet of light. Dan will bring us back with his song.
Dan, thank you, Jill. We've all heard the phrase, one man's trash is another man's treasure. I want to do something different today. I want to share a story of this phrase literally coming to life. It is a story of inspiration and of hope. It is a story of how the difference of one or two people can make in the lives of so many people. In the Gospel of Matthew, it is written, "Wherever two or more are gathered, in my name, there I am with them." Now, that's an interesting phrase, especially coming from the unity perspective. How would you take such a thing to mean? Because from the traditional sense, I've heard it, we've all heard it, we get together and then God will be present if there's two or more. But that kind of sounds like God has a two-person minimum requirement of attendance. And I don't think that is the case. Because each of one of us is an expression of the divine. So therefore, there must be some other understanding to it. And again, we interpret things differently in unity. And what came to my mind is really that phrase is about what it means. It is about the power of numbers. And that we know this is true because God is everywhere. And so the more of us there is, and that's what I was talking about this morning, when we get together, that energy that we all have, because we know that we are essentially energy, it all gathers together. We know this even scientifically because we know that when two waves of energy come together in sync, in phase, as it's called, then the waves amplify together. And if they come together out of phase, they cancel each other. So the verse is saying that when two energies come together with a common goal, then the energy is amplified. And it becomes more effective and more powerful. That's what that verse, to me, is referring to. We know this is true. Because we know also that there have been experiments done whereas a small percentage of the population comes together in common prayer or in common intent, and it does change the general area of the entire place, the energy field, because we are energy. And so the thing is that this energy, we know in this dualistic world, works both in the positive and negative direction. We see that at work all the time. And this explains like a mob mentality. That for that January 6th event, it was a mob mentality that took over. It's just the power of numbers. Because there have been 1 or 2 or 3 or 6 there, that would not have happened. They would not have done. But when you get all that energy together, it just becomes something different. And in that case, it was in a negative way. But in some other cases, which we are trying to do, it's a positive way. So listen to what it says right before, when 2 are gathered or more are gathered in my name. Right before it says this, "Again, truly I tell you that if 2 of you on earth agree on anything, and they ask for it, it will be done to them by our Father in heaven." So we create this new thing by coming together. And that's what, to me, that's what this whole lesson is about. And this particular lesson, 2 men brought together an entire community because one had an idea and one had the manual skills to bring that idea into manifestation. And it created something truly, truly unusual and truly different. I don't know if you've ever seen this video. It was on 60 Minutes about 7 years ago. And I know maybe some of you have, but if you haven't, great. And even if you have, it's worth watching again. Let's see if we can get it going.
Ever heard of a town built on a garbage dump? We hadn't until earlier this year when we visited a community on the outskirts of Asunción, the capital of tiny, impoverished South American country of Paraguay. there's trash everywhere. And it
Yeah, they were having trouble with it this morning. Then we thought we had it earlier, and then maybe we don't have it yet. Anyway, let's sing while we wait. That's all right. We're in the moment. We're in the present.
backyards, trapped out. Ever heard of a town built on a garbage dump? We hadn't until earlier this year when we visited a community on the outskirts of Asunción, the capital of the tiny, impoverished South American country of Paraguay. It's called Catiura, and there's trash everywhere, in its streets, its rivers, in people's backyards. But we decided to take you to Catiura tonight, not because of the poverty or the filth, but because of the incredible imagination and ingenuity of the people who live there. Our story is also a reminder that ultimately music will triumph everywhere and anywhere.
The story will continue in a moment.
Garbage is the only crop in Catiura. Once a year. It is Catiura's curse, its livelihood, and the only reason people live here. It provides hundreds of jobs to peasant farmers who were kicked off their plots by large landowners. They are the trash pickers. It is their profession. They sift through the stench 24 hours a day, scrounging for anything they can sell. 10 cents for a pound of plastic, 5 cents for a pound of cardboard. You'll be amazed at what else people are doing here with this trash. Just look and listen. This is the recycled orchestra of Catiura. The violins are fashioned from oven trays. The cello is from oil barrels. Even the strings are recycled. The saxophones and trumpets are made from old drain pipes. The keys were once coins and bottle caps. The strum skin used to be an X-ray plate. The guitar from dessert tins. The idea came from environmental technician Fabio Chavez. When he came to Catiura and saw the kids working and playing on this miserable hill, he came up with the idea of starting a music school to lift the kids' lives out of the trash. From the start, Fabio realized that even if he could raise the money, new instruments were out of the question. The factory-made violin would cost more than a house here and would almost certainly get stolen. But these fiddles aren't worth a dime. You're the handiwork of trash worker and carpenter Don Colat Gomez. 3 days a week, he goes to the dump to find the raw materials. Then in his tiny workshop at the edge of the dump, he goes to work. Fabio first asked him to make a violin, but this Stradivarius of South America had never seen one or heard one. Do you realize how unusual it is?
Yes, that's the way it is. When you need something, you need to do whatever it takes to survive.
He was soon making 3 violins a week, then cellos, and 5 you went and saw the orchestra and you see all these instruments with all these different colors, were you surprised when you learned that they were made from trash?
Sí, me sorprendió muchísimo saber que los instrumentos
Yes,
de colores,
I was very surprised because I had thought that trash was useless.
toda mi vida
But thanks to the orchestra, I now realize that there are so many different things that can be done with this stuff.
Couture didn't exist before Paraguay's capital, Asunción, started dumping its trash here. The town grew up around the garbage and became one of the poorest places in South America. 2,500 families live here now. There's hardly any electricity or plumbing. The drinking water is contaminated. Many of the children moved from broken homes to crime and drugs. But Ada and her younger sister Noelia, who plays the cello, say that music has become their salvation, the centerpiece of their lives. And who do they have to thank for that? Their grandmother, Miriam. She is a garbage worker, collects bottles in the streets of Asunción, carries them back to Catura to sell, 10 cents a pound. 3 years ago, Miriam saw a notice advertising free music lessons for children. That's how it all began. Why did you want them to learn music?
Because I always wanted to be a musician or play an instrument. Actually, I wanted to be a singer. Sometimes our dreams do come true. Maybe not in our lives, but through people that we love very much.
al tocar el violín,
When I play the violin, I feel like I'm somewhere else.
o sea, me imagino que estoy sola,
I imagine that I'm alone in my own world and forget about everything else around me and feel transported to a beautiful place.
Can you describe that beautiful place?
sí, me
Yes, I'm transported to a place that is completely different to where I am now. It has clear skies, open fields, and I see lots of green. It's clean with no trash. There's no contamination where we live. It's just me alone playing my violin.
Every Saturday, this drab schoolyard is transformed into a multicolored oasis of music. The kids flock here to learn and to play. Catalluda is a long way from Juilliard, but these music students are just as dedicated as those prodigies in New York. And they don't get rained on like the kids here. Paraguay is in the tropics, and you're reminded of that all the time. But the band plays on. The veterans, 15-year-olds, are teaching the novices. Many are barely big enough to hold a violin. The music can't compete with the downpour, but there is refuge in a classroom. Fabio Chavez says that music teaches the kids respect and responsibility, not common commodities, in the gang-ridden streets of Catalluda.
These values are completely different to those of gangs. If these kids love being part of the orchestra, they're absolutely going to hate being part of a gang.
For the first time, the children are getting out of Catalluda, performing around the country. And to Chavez, the Pied Piper of Paraguay, that's the most important thing. They're being seen, they're being heard.
These are children that were hidden. Nobody even knew they existed. We've put them on a stage. Now everybody looks at them and everybody knows they exist.
That's mainly because of a documentary that's being made about the orchestra called Land Philharmonic. Last November, the producers put their trailer up on YouTube. It went viral. The orchestra began getting bookings worldwide. stuff as dreams are made of. The film which follows their remarkable journey through concert halls in Europe and America will only be released next year. But already, instruments are being donated, and that's not all. The kids are getting help. Paraguay's most famous musician, Berta Rojas, flies down regularly from her home in Maryland to offer master classes. Remember Noelia, Ada's sister, the cellist? Berta is teaching her how to play the guitar.
This is a story that is still in my heart and my soul with so much inspiration.
When you first heard them play, what went through your mind?
I couldn't believe that you could make music with trash. I couldn't believe it. And I thought, oh my God, this is the best thing that had happened in Paraguay in so many years.
And when you talk to the parents, you hear what you hear from poor people everywhere. They want their kids to have a better life than they've had. Jorge Rios is Ada and Noelia's father. If she becomes a professional musician, she'd probably be leaving town. How would you react to that?
Sí, la verdad que yo pienso que el sueño.
Yes, the truth is, if you ask that question to every parent here, they would say they would leave this place if they could. I, of course, would like her to have a better life than the one I've had.
No esté viviendo donde yo.
And if she leaves, I hope she takes me with her.
Is that most of the parents and the people of Catiuta had never heard the children play. That was about to change. A concert was finally scheduled. There were banners in the streets. The local radio station was ready to broadcast. The church was transformed into a concert hall. The children wore their finest. This was, after all, opening night. It could have been New York. Students on stage for the finale. Some of the musicians were performing after just one rehearsal. The parents were proud, of course, but just listen to the girl's grandma, Miriam.
Yo digo que es una bendición de Dios. I would say it's a blessing from God. People used to humiliate us and call us trash bearers. Today, they're more civilized. They call us the recyclers. And so I think that this is a reward from God, that our children who come from this place can play beautiful music in this way.
And here's a final note from the Recycled Orchestra of Catiuta. Go on, send us your garbage. We'll send it back to you as music.
That's something different, isn't it? I just thought I'd share with that because, you know, we see so much negativity, and now and then it's nice to see something different. And that what the power of what we can do in this world. So let's take a few moments to contemplate the message behind today's video. Let's get comfortable in our chairs and we take a few deep breaths, and as we open up ourselves to the love and guidance that Spirit offers us every moment of every day. In this world filled with so much negative media energy and the current events in the Middle East, we are grateful for stories such as today's story. It is a reminder that in spite of appearances, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. It is a reminder that as divine expressions of the universe, we are inherently good, and any time we express ourselves in any other way than good, It is a reflection of our lack of awareness of our true nature. But with every act of love, we snuff out just a little more of that ignorance and shine a little more light. Let the story we saw today help us inspire each of us to go forth in such a manner that we can have the same impact that the people in the story have had. For we know that the will of Spirit is for the greatest good of all. Today's message reminds us that we are the light of the world. We are God in expression, and we choose to express that divinity which we are. Great things happen to us and to those who receive the blessings and to the entire planet because we continue to elevate the vibrational rate of this world consciousness. We thank those who are responsible for bringing this greatly inspirational story to our awareness. And we commit to doing our part of sending loving, positive, healing energy to this world that is in much need. We affirm that the good energy that we create every week does make a difference in the overall scheme of this planet's spiritual unfolding. For all this, we say thank you, Spirit, and so it is. We have some special music today. It's Willie Nelson's latest song.
Imagine what you want, then get out of the way.
to manifest in our community and in our world. So this would be a time where we normally would bring children back in, but we don't have any today. So we always still bless the children. So we say, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ that you are. Final announcements. Jill is our prayer chaplain today. And do not forget, we don't have this room next week. We'll be at the library downtown, second floor, and we'll have the Dia de los Muertos celebration. We'll have an altar set up, bring a picture of a deceased loved one, and a little thing that maybe is associated with them, like me. If they were a big cowboy fan, bring a little cowboy thing, or things like that. So, and we'll set it all up, and we'll be downtown next Sunday, same time, just a different location. So let's rise and finish with our peace song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment with peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever we are, God is, I am, and all is well. Have a great week. No LGM, and we'll see you at the library next week.